What if a single drop of blood could unlock your entire health profile, saving time, money, and even lives? That's the promise Elizabeth Holmes made with her company, Theranos. But behind the billion-dollar vision was a web of lies that left investors defrauded, patients misled, and the world shocked. Today, we'll unravel the rise and catastrophic fall of Theranos, and what this scandal teaches us about ambition, ethics, and protecting our finances. Elizabeth Holmes wasn't just building a company, she was crafting a movement. In 2003, as a 19-year-old Stanford dropout, Holmes founded Theranos, a name she coined by combining therapy and diagnosis. Her mission? To change healthcare as we know it. Holmes envisioned a world where a trip to the doctor's office or the lab for a blood test would become obsolete. At the core of her pitch was the Edison device, a sleek, compact machine that could allegedly run hundreds of medical tests using only a few drops of blood from a finger prick. Unlike traditional blood tests that required needles, vials of blood, and days of processing, the Edison promised fast, affordable, and painless diagnostics, delivered almost instantly. For patients with chronic illnesses, limited access to healthcare, or needle phobia, this technology seemed like a miracle. It wasn't just a product, it was a symbol of empowerment for patients worldwide. Holmes had more than just a bold idea, she had an uncanny ability to sell it. Her pitch went beyond healthcare, it was about disrupting an entire industry. With her signature black turtlenecks, inspired by her idol Steve Jobs, and a meticulously crafted public persona, Holmes exuded authority and confidence. Her unusually deep voice added to her mystique, and every word she spoke was measured and deliberate. Investors were captivated. Holmes raised over $700 million from some of the world's most influential figures. Rupert Murdoch, the influential media mogul, invested $125 million into Theranos, confident in its potential to revolutionize diagnostic testing. Similarly, the Walton family, heirs to the Walmart fortune, poured millions into the company, seeing it as a natural extension of their mission to make healthcare more accessible to everyday consumers. Betsy DeVos, the former U.S. Secretary of Education, and her family also placed their faith in Theranos, contributing $100 million to what they believed was a groundbreaking innovation in medicine. By 2014, Theranos was valued at $9 billion. Holmes herself was worth an estimated $4.5 billion, making her the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. Her name became synonymous with innovation, and she graced the covers of Forbes, Fortune, and Time, hailed as the woman who would change the face of medicine. But it wasn't just investors who were captivated by Holmes's vision. Major corporations saw Theranos as a game-changer and scrambled to partner with the rising star of Silicon Valley. Two of the biggest deals were with Walgreens and Safeway, giants in the retail and grocery industries. Theranos secured major corporate partnerships that appeared to solidify its place as a game-changer in healthcare. Walgreens announced plans to roll out Theranos wellness centers in stores across the country, allowing customers to walk in, get a quick finger-prick blood test, and receive diagnostic results within minutes. For Walgreens, this partnership was more than a business opportunity. It was a chance to establish itself as a leader in accessible healthcare. Meanwhile, Safeway committed to building wellness clinics in 800 of its grocery stores, in a deal valued at $350 million. Safeway executives believed Theranos' technology could transform their stores into hubs for preventive healthcare, making diagnostics more convenient and widely available. The potential market for Theranos was enormous. The diagnostic testing industry was worth an estimated $60 billion, and Holmes positioned her company as the disruptive force that would render traditional methods obsolete. She spoke of a future where people could take control of their health without the need for labs or doctors. The media played a crucial role in building Holmes's legend. Publications painted her as a visionary who wasn't just breaking the glass ceiling but smashing it into a million pieces. She became a darling of Silicon Valley and beyond, celebrated not only for her innovation, but also for her ambition in a male-dominated industry. Holmes's story inspired countless young women to believe they could revolutionize their own fields, just as she seemed to be doing. Theranos wasn't just a company, it was a symbol of hope. Patients with chronic illnesses envisioned a future where managing their conditions was no longer invasive or expensive. People in rural or underserved areas saw the possibility of accessible diagnostics that could save lives. The story was so compelling that even skeptics wanted to believe in it. By the end of 2014, it seemed that nothing could stop Theranos. The company had everything: a charismatic leader, deep-pocketed investors, major corporate partnerships, and glowing media coverage. Holmes was hailed as a once-in-a-generation visionary, a disruptor who had outpaced the world's biggest diagnostic companies and made billion-dollar corporations her partners. Theranos wasn't just a company, it was the future of healthcare. But as we now know, behind the shiny promises and soaring valuations, the reality of Theranos' technology was far different. The Edison device, which Holmes claimed would revolutionize the world, was the foundation of a house of cards, one that was about to come crashing down. But beneath the surface, Theranos' technology was a disaster. The Edison device, which Holmes claimed could revolutionize healthcare, was riddled with flaws. In reality, it could barely perform a fraction of the tests it promised. Internal data revealed frequent inaccuracies, leading to potentially dangerous results. Patients were falsely told they had conditions like cancer or HIV, while others received false negatives that delayed critical treatment for life-threatening diseases. Rather than addressing the technology's failures, Holmes and her COO, Sunny Balwani, resorted to deception to maintain their facade. They outsourced test results to commercially available machines from competitors like Siemens, all while presenting the results as if they came from Theranos' Edison device. Holmes and Balwani also cultivated a culture of secrecy and intimidation. Employees who raised concerns were silenced with non-disclosure agreements, threats, and even firings. Remarkably, even Theranos' board members were kept in the dark about the true state of the company's operations. The cracks in Theranos' story began to show when journalist John Carreyrou of the Wall Street Journal received a tip from whistleblowers within the company. His groundbreaking investigation exposed the extent of the fraud, revealing that Theranos had falsified test results and systematically misled investors, regulators, and patients alike. The fallout from Carreyrou's exposé was swift and devastating. Regulatory bodies quickly launched investigations, and lawsuits began to mount against Theranos. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services banned Elizabeth Holmes from owning or operating a medical laboratory, while the Securities and Exchange Commission charged her and COO Sunny Balwani with massive fraud. Major partnerships unraveled as Walgreens and Safeway terminated their agreements with Theranos, collectively reporting losses exceeding $200 million. By 2018, the once promising company had completely collapsed, and Holmes's personal net worth, which had peaked at $4.5 billion, was reduced to nothing. In 2022, Holmes stood trial for multiple counts of fraud. Prosecutors detailed how she had knowingly misled investors and endangered patients. Holmes was found guilty on 4 counts and sentenced to 11 years in prison. Balwani received a similar sentence. The collapse of Theranos didn't just bring down Elizabeth Holmes and her company, it left devastation in its wake for thousands of others. Investors, including high-profile backers like Rupert Murdoch, collectively lost over $700 million. Patients suffered the consequences of false test results, which led to unnecessary medical procedures, missed diagnoses, and a significant erosion of trust in medical innovation. Employees were not spared either, as hundreds lost their jobs, and whistleblowers faced immense personal and professional risks for exposing the truth. The Theranos scandal is more than just a story of ambition gone wrong. It's a cautionary tale for anyone involved in business, investing, or even healthcare. Here are the critical takeaways. 1. Always question bold claims. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Investors and partners were swept up by Holmes's vision without demanding rigorous proof that the technology worked. 2. Trust, but verify. Even seasoned investors failed to conduct thorough due diligence. In any financial decision, whether it's a stock, a business opportunity, or a new product, independent verification is key. 3. Ethics matter. Holmes's willingness to cut corners and mislead others not only destroyed her company but also eroded trust in the entire industry. In business, integrity is non-negotiable. 4. Beware of charismatic leaders. Holmes's charisma and carefully curated image blinded many to the red flags. Always evaluate the product or service itself, not just the person selling it. Elizabeth Holmes's story is a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the cost of prioritizing success over ethics. It's a cautionary tale that shows us the importance of diligence, skepticism, and transparency in every decision we make. Whether it's investing our money, running a business, or managing our healthcare. At Simple Personal Finance, we believe in making informed decisions to protect your future. If you found this video insightful, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn from the past to build a better, smarter financial future.